everyone, I'm Danica and welcome back to the Writing Nook. So today I just kind of wanted to do, get into position. So today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about my reflection on the last year, what I did and did not accomplish, and what my goals are for this next year, for 2021. Specifically, what processes and systems and mindsets I'm hoping to use to make 2021 a better, happier, more productive year, barring world circumstances. Am I a little late on this? Maybe. What day is it? Not January 1st. So let's start out by just doing a brief recap of what 2020 was like for me. So obviously 2020 was a very difficult year for many people. I am very grateful for everything that I had in 2020 to help me weather the storm, I think, pretty well. But I think even still, there were aspects of it that were really difficult for me and definitely put me in really bad headspaces at certain times, especially once quarantine started, we went into lockdown. I kind of started getting down on myself for not being productive enough. I was like, you have all this time, you should be getting all these things done. I felt really bad about myself for not checking off the boxes, and because I felt bad, I wouldn't even start, and I couldn't get any closer to those goals. So it was like this vicious cycle of just feeling guilty all the time, which I think a lot of people faced in 2020, especially towards the end of the summer. I saw a lot more people kind of talking about this toxic mentality of needing to be productive in what is literally a world crisis. When I was looking back on it, I actually did accomplish a lot of things. On the writing side, I began writing again. I haven't written creatively regularly for probably like 5 or 6 years. Last year, I discovered authortube, I got really inspired, and I wrote my novel for NaNoWriMo, and I've been writing really consistently ever since. All in all, I wrote about 64,000 words in 2020, which is amazing considering that the number of creative words that I wrote in 2019 was literally 0. Also, I started reading more. When I was in college, I didn't really read very much at all, but in 2020, I read 20 books in a year, which is not that bad, especially considering that I went through such a long reading slump during quarantine. So honestly, that's kind of amazing. So those were my 2 major accomplishments in 2020, but I think the big takeaway that I got from the whole year is to stop beating myself up for not being productive. So I want to talk about the 2 mindsets that I have kind of adopted at the end of 2020 that I want to make the focus of 2021 to help me get more out of this year. If you have plans or goals or mindsets that you're using to make 2021 your best year, feel free to let me know what they are down below or what you think of mine as we kind of get into this video, because I'm very interested. The first one is to focus on process over results. So I recently, like everyone else in the world, it feels like, I recently read Atomic Habits. Honestly, it was a really good book and talks a lot about kind of the ways that the little systems, the little habits that you put into place in your life are what will, in the end, make long-term change and really transform your life. Instead of this kind of spurt mindset that I had last year, which was that I just needed to sit down and do everything, get it all done and have check this box and get this thing done and have this accomplishment and have this thing finished. And instead, it's about doing a little bit all the time to get you where to go. So the second thing that I really want to incorporate into my 2021 mindset is to start where you are. No matter who you are in this moment here, you don't have to be an entirely new person in order to chase your goals and your dreams. You do not have to be the perfect writer today in order to start writing and learning and growing and becoming the writer that you want to be one day. Because the only way that you will get there is if you start from the person that you are today and you accept all of you and all of the places you wish you were more or you wish you were better. You have to start from the person that you are to get to the person you want to be. There's no getting around it. Let's talk about my goals and what I want to do in 2021. So my word of the year for 2021 is create. Now, I realized after I picked this word, like fully after I picked it, I like went online and Googled and realized that this is an extremely popular word, I think for a good reason. But to me, when I thought of it, I was like, whoa, this is mind blowing for me. And the reason for that is that I have spent so much of like kind of my school years and, you know, my job as a working professional, not necessarily working to channel my creativity. So this year I want to focus on creating my writing, on creating my attempted art and bullet journaling, creating a career that I really love, creating a life that I really love. That's my focus for the year. So let's talk about my writing goals, my reading goals. Let's start out with my writing goals. So my number one goal for all of 2020, I mean, if I had to prioritize a goal over every other goal, it would be this one. And it goes straight along with kind of my first mindset of prioritizing the process over the results. I want to write every single day. In order to meet this goal, all I have to do is write in relation to a fiction or a nonfiction project. It just cannot be work related. And I'm going to exclude my journaling words because I want that to be kind of a separate goal. If I sit down and I write one sentence in my draft, that works. If I sit down and I write one sentence of a personal essay or jot down my ideas for a personal essay or work on brainstorming or outlining, all of that counts. And I'm going to borrow the idea from Atomic Habits of don't break the chain. Even if you miss a day, just make sure you don't miss 2 days. Don't fully break the chain. So every single day, I'll pay a few words into the total number of words that I want to write so that I'm constantly making progress. My second writing goal is I have a total number of words that I would like to achieve for 2021. Okay, this is kind of my word count and habit section of my bullet journal. And I just wanted to show this to you because this is how I'm planning to track my word count for 2021. My total word count goal is 250,000 words in this year, which I am so excited about. I really think that I can make this happen. You can also see on the left here is my daily habits that I'm going to try and put together. And I have it broken out into the 4 laws of habits that Atomic Habits breaks out. And I need to fill this out, but basically I'm gonna write down my strategies for making each habit obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. My third goal is related to my novel. So I started brainstorming my novel in August of last year. I've written about half of the first draft through NaNoWriMo and December and the first week of January. My goal is to finish the first full draft of my novel. So what this means is I am currently writing the 0 draft. So I need to finish my 0 draft. Then I want to go back to the drawing board and do really big developmental edits on my story. And then I want to go back into my story and rewrite it to meet my story developmental edits so that I can have a full first draft. And by the end of 2021, I want to have that full first draft that like really is a story, really is my story. And I want to send that out to some critique partners or beta readers. Next goal is to write short stories. I have always loved writing short stories, and I would like to brainstorm some ideas and work on the craft of writing short stories because I know it's a very different muscle from writing novels. It's a different way of thinking about storycraft, and I think I will learn so much from exercising my writerly brain in that way. And lastly, I want to work on personal essays. I have written some in the past, and I think it would be fun to go back and kind of sift through my thoughts and try and create sort of a polished essay explaining and exploring those thoughts. I think that that will be like a different writerly skill that will really help me to grow as a writer and help me to process my thoughts. So, reading goals. My goal for this year is to read 25 books. I'm a very slow reader and it takes me a long time to get through books, and especially because I'm looking to read some more kind of epic fantasy books, which are like super, super long. They should count for like 3 books, but they don't. I'm keeping my goal to 25. I want to read 10 YA or fantasy books, basically fiction books in the genre that I'm interested in writing, which right now is YA or new adult fantasy. 10 books that are nonfiction. So this could be memoirs, which I absolutely love, or kind of like more self-helpy kind of books like Atomic Habits. My last 5 books are going to be writing craft books. So those could be books on story structure or ways to make your prose better, but I want to be actively studying, taking notes, learning, and hopefully reviewing and posting some of those videos for you guys as I'm learning more about story structure. So also in my reading goals, I want to review every single book that I read. Previously, I have not been much of a book reviewer. I want to make sure that I'm stopping to really critically think through my books that I read and think about why I liked them, what aspects I liked, and what aspects I didn't. Either I can make a YouTube video or I can write a review on Goodreads or Amazon or Storycraft or any of the other websites that are kind of out there. And last, I really want to become a beta reader or a critique partner for somebody. Part of the reason I started this YouTube channel is because I want to meet other writers, and I would really love to beta read for somebody. I think it would be a good skill to read through someone's novel and really think critically about what I like, what I don't like, what works for me, what doesn't, and help to give them really good feedback so that they can go back and, make their story as good as it can possibly be. Definitely interested in becoming a beta reader. If you are looking for beta readers, do let me know down in the comments. I would love to talk to you about it. So yeah, those are my goals. If you have any writing goals or just general goals, or if you have a mindset that you are particularly using for 2021 to make it the best possible year for you, please let me know those things down below, because I'm definitely really interested in hearing what everybody else is doing this year. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all right back here very soon. I assume that at some point this will get less awkward, but it's still awkward, so just bear with me here.